What's up, guys? Alright, today's episode, there's not going to be a lot of B-roll. I'm just going to really quickly talk to you about making a feature film. I'm currently in the process of making my first feature film, and so throughout the summer I'll show you guys a lot of the stuff that I'm doing to make that happen. But I thought I'd make a quick episode to talk to you guys about what I've done up to this point to get this first feature off the ground, which has been a bit of a long process, but I'll break it down for you. Okay, first thing you need to do, you need a script. Okay, if you don't have the know-how to write a script like a screenplay, then I strongly suggest getting a book on that. I did that years ago, like 10 plus years ago. Okay, so since then I've written my script. This is it right here. It is 95 pages long. Now you might think like writing something 90 pages long will take forever, and I don't think I'll ever do that. It's not as difficult as you would think. Think of it like this: write 3 pages a day for 30 days. That's in 1 month. You could write an entire screenplay, which is what I did. And you might also think like, oh, the screenplay's gotta suck if you write it that fast. Not necessarily. If you already have the whole story already figured out in your mind, which a lot of people already do, you already know what story you want to tell, then you just gotta focus on it, one segment at a time, one scene at a time, you know? And my suggestion is just do that. Every time you have a new scene, stop, and then pick up the next time where you left off and write that next scene out. And if you do that, write about 3 pages a day on average. Some days you'll write a few more, some days you'll write a few less. Long story short, you'll have a screenplay in a month. I did this for several of my film ideas, and I have 6 scripts all lined up. So, and once you do that, it's great because the next process is getting funding. I would get funding through grant writing. I would not try to find some angel investor to invest in your film and everything. I've seen a lot of people do that. Never seems to work out too great. You waste a lot of time trying to find these investors and everything. After a while, just say fuck all that. Apply for grants or put the money up yourself. And I would say start really fucking small, like super fucking small. I'm talking like $7,000 for your first feature film. Okay, I know you're thinking you can't make a film for that much. Bullshit. Okay, there's a film called Primer, which is a great film. They did it, and they shot on film. A lot of you guys are shooting on digital. I'm gonna shoot this on digital. And then Rodriguez did El Mariachi on film. So, and those both cost $7,000. If you haven't seen them, they're iconic films, whatever. Point is, you have to get the idea of like you're gonna make a masterpiece out of your first film out of your mind. Instead, just get that first film done and move on to your next film and next film. For me, I like it because I know I can make my money back on this, and I want to get a feature film under my belt so I can move on to another one. I've seen a lot of other people with much bigger budgets crash and burn. So just get this whole idea that just because you have a bigger budget, you're going to be great or whatever. That's not going to be the case, okay? There's actually a lot more success stories and people that made small films and actually made a profit off those films, or at least their money back, than these people who had larger films, crashed and burned, and never fucking made another film after that. So don't be one of those guys. Alright, so that's what I did for the funding. I got $5,000 grant funding. I put up some money in myself, and I'm still writing for more grants. But between now and if I get any more grants, I'm going to go ahead and go into production and start shooting some of this film. So how do you make a film for $7,000? How do you do it? How do you take all those expenses that you're going to incur and just do it for $7 grand? It just can't be done. Well, this is how I would go about it. Okay, step 1. It's a 3-part process if you really want a good film. Okay, and step 1 is going to be make 90% of your film in one location. Okay, it's not that easy. Okay, I understand it's not ideal either, but if you can do this, you greatly increase your chances of having a successful film. Okay, so like there's been films where the whole film takes place in a house. There's been films where the whole film takes place in an apartment or whatever. In my case, a good majority of the film takes place in the woods. So technically I just need a small area of woods and I can film there the whole fucking time. It's not a scary movie either. I just wrote it knowing that I was wanting to keep my location in one spot, you know. And so the idea is that I don't have to, you know, pack up and move to another location. That's where all the expenses come up. Okay, I'm also shooting outdoors, so I'm using natural light. That's another big one, so try to keep that in mind. Keep your lighting situated so that you don't have to move your lights around a lot or use natural light. Okay, if you do that, the main thing you have to worry about is sound. So you'll have to pay for like a sound guy, a boom guy, whatever. And I would suggest shooting in 10 to 12 days, which is a really fucking busy schedule. But again, if you're not moving and breaking down a lot of setups, that helps a lot. Number 2, only have 3 main characters. Okay, so don't have like a whole bunch of people in your film. You have to cast all those people, you have to feed all those people, you have to clothe all those people, wardrobe, everything. I mean, just, it doesn't work. Okay, you want 3 characters, 3 main characters. There could be a few extras in there sprinkled throughout the film, whatever, but the main film needs to just have 3 characters that the whole film circles around. Okay, that's number 2. That's a pretty big one as well. Okay, and the last thing you need to work on is the ending of your film. I know it sounds really ridiculous, like who's to say what a good ending is? You have to have a good ending. Okay, I don't know how to explain that, but as long as there's an ending that the audience walks away very happy with how that ended, then they feel as a entire time that they watch the film that their time was well spent. Okay, so okay, the next thing is time. You want your script to be, or you want your final product, your final film to be 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's 80 pages. So I'm probably going to cut this script down to get it down to that length. You want it real lean. Okay, lean film. Okay, every time you think it's going to get boring, change it up. Okay, change up your scene, whatever you got to do, but make it really lean. Cut all the fat. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're talking about taking someone's time of 1 hour and 20 minutes, 3 main characters. 90% of the film should take place in one location, and it should have a really good ending. Okay, if you can start it off really good, that's also helpful, but more importantly, end it really well. End it with an ending they didn't see coming. End it with an ending that makes them think. End it with something tragic, something sad. I don't know, you could even be really happy if the whole film is sad. I don't know, whatever it is, just end it with an ending that's very impactful for the audience. Okay, if you guys do that, your first feature film will be awesome. Okay, so hope you guys got some notes there that were helpful for you. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I've done a bunch of music videos, short films, commercials, all kinds of other work, but this is the first time I'm doing a feature film, and I'm going to document the whole process over the summer. And you know, if you guys want to come along for the ride, you can kind of see it all. So just consider subscribing below or whatever, and I don't know, hopefully you guys can pick up some tips here. When the final product's done, I'll show it to everybody, and yeah, I'll stand behind it. So for me, it's like, look, if it's a great film, great, and if it's okay, it's not that big of a deal. It's not the only film I'm gonna make. Okay, that's the whole thing. Don't just make one and quit. Make a bunch of films. Make a bunch of films. Make them for cheap. Make them fast. Make them good. And just get it done. Okay. See you guys on the next one.